Okay, so you will open this in API folder. What time will okay. Okay, ready now. So VS Code is open. The CMD is open in API folder. After that, code space dot VS Code will get open. Okay, so this is the index file we have worked yesterday. Open the index file. Again, go here in index file, do the right click. You will find option open with live server. Open with live server. Then we'll go to the browser. In browser again. If browser is open directly, then okay. In case browser is not open, manually we have to give the URL and port number. So in index file, we did right click and we open with the live server. So after that, the page got open here, and in this we are going to see localhost 5500. Right, this is the page. Once you click on home page should appear. Home content should appear. Even we have written download also. It should come. Okay, home page came on load. When we click here, about is coming, home is coming. So this was the local file. Home and services file you have read here, it is the local file. And what we discuss is we discuss we discuss like when we use the fetch function will send a request to the backend. After that, from there, whichever the data will come, that will get captured by then function. Then function will capture the response, and after that, the then function will capture the response. After capturing the response here, it has to decode the data. It has to convert either into text or JSON, and after doing that, you will get the original data under the second then function. First then function will capture the response and do the decoding part. After that, second then function will give you the actual data. That actual data, what you want to do, you want to run the for loop, you want to display somewhere, you want to display the inner HTML, everything is possible here. We can write here map function also, for each function also, everything we can write here. Okay, so that two file while loading home and service. We have one more file, product file. We have written something in that, right? So we can complete that product file as well. And after that, we can go for the reading the data from other URL, other server, right? So you can, the function is calling called get product function. Get service function we can copy once and we can keep here, and we can change the name of the function as a get, and inside the get product function you are going to call the product.html. Product.html, that is here we can write here product.html. Now it will be able to read the data from product file. It will read the data from product file. Then check once, hope your page should work. After that, we can write another API URL to bring the data from server in JSON format. So here we can go and see product is loading, service is loading, home is loading. All three are loading, right? It's running based on client and server, running based on client and server. Okay, please check once. Yeah. One is login called Vamsi. VAMSI. Can you check your message? I have message something. You cannot log in any class no randomly. Check your message, reply, and then I'll guide you. Vamsi, can you see your message? Yeah, for which class you log in? It's a JavaScript is in the middle. Class is going on, it is JavaScript and it is in the middle. Okay, operator. So product file should work. See now, all three are working. Next is for this user list. Now come to the user list. In user list function, user list button will call a function here. On click equal to call a function called get user. In the get user function, get user function get user function, we are going to read a array. We are going to read a file that will hold the data in the form of JSON. We are going to read a file that will hold the data in the form of JSON. So we can write here fetch function, fetch function, and under the fetch function, we can use a file called user.json that is not exist in our server still. We have to write it user.json. After that, then you will capture here under the response variable, and after capturing under the response variable, response.json you have to do, so that it will convert into JSON object, and after that we will be able to get the data as an array. Then we can write here user array. So at this place you will be getting as a user array. That user array we can keep again here as a alert and find out user array dot length. User array user array dot length. User array dot length. Save it. We have to create a file called user array user.json, and after that we can see how it is going to work. Return user.json file. This one function. Okay, so let's create a file user.json. User.json. In same folder. Code is ready. Okay. User.json. This will be as a single dimensional array. Store some username. Okay. Suppose some name we have a store inside a file. This can be one line or this can be multi-line also. Your wish, or you want to arrange, you can arrange it. Some names we have added in the form of JSON. This data is stored in a separate JSON file. Now your JavaScript will read this data as a JSON. After reading this data, JavaScript will run a for loop and display inside the page in paragraph or maybe division or any layout can be anything. Data is going to come now from the JSON file as a raw material. It is not going to come directly HTML or paragraph division. It is going to come as a HTML, JSON data. This JSON data will be converted into array, and after that array, we can run the for each function and display the list of paragraphs inside the page. That fan can on first one. If you on, I don't know. If not, ready. Now come to the browser again. Click on third button, user list. It should give you the length. So 8. Getting the length means server is able to read the data in the form of JSON and converting to the array. Hope length is coming. Now after that, if we have received the data in the array, then we have multiple method. For loop we have, do while we have, for each we have, map function we have. Using any of the loop, we can read the data and display in the page as whichever the format we want. So this become your user.json file. And this is your index function. Index file, under the index file, you have function called getUser. Now getUser has read the data here and converted into array, and this point we are able to receive the array. So here only we can run a for loop, map function, and we can generate the final output. So go here. Before running the loop, we require a variable where we will store everything. Okay, we can write here h1 user list, close the h1. After that, h1 close the user list, close the h1. After that, you have here called user array dot map, name of the user and index of the user. It's a single dimensional array. You will write here data equal to data plus. Here we can generate the p tag, and inside the p tag we can concat with the name, and finally list of paragraph will get generated. List of paragraph will get generated, and this all the paragraph, as soon as the map function will get finished, using the inner HTML we can send to the browser. So there is like this: document dot get element by id, get element by id container, and under the container dot inner HTML equal to, you can write here variable called data. So you are getting the content as a JSON, you convert it into array, and after converting the array, we generated a loop. Inside loop, we constructed the paragraph with the dynamic value, and that list of the content you are sending to again. This will be the job of UI developer. The backend, as of now, this is local URL you are calling. Next, we are going to call the server URL. So server backend people will give a URL. They will say, if you call this URL, you will get this much of data. Now this data should display like this. So we have to capture that. We need to render the loop and do anything, and finally generate the output as per the design. Check now. This will give you the list of paragraph. Yeah, so hope it is something like this. List of users. We can add their ID also as an index. Zero, 1, 2, 3 will come for all the users. List of users are coming for how many people? List of users with ID, something like this. That was the local data. You have read the data from the local JSON file. Can I share the file, index file? Let me send you the index file. User.json also. Both is in your chat. Please you can download both if not working. Is not working. Fine. See, that's how it works. After W comma, after Alex, you are not going to comma. That's my one. Button click on calling comment. Get user from the money account. You can get product, you call something else. Get user, you call something else. Yes, I'm doing repeating. Open with live server. Click on that. Copy the folder. Get user. There is a get user function. Get user. Right, we need to remember now at least in current file, what is the variable name I have given one place. Again, I am calling, so what variable I have given? Developer meaning not to forget. Okay. Suppose you go to the hospital and you start explaining to the doctor the problem. He will open the book, start searching this problem, then what solution, this problem. Will it work out? It will not work out. So they remember this problem and this solution. For this solution, this is the tablet. The problem will come immediately. The tablet will come on your paper. Right? So developer meaning is we have to remember it. Okay. In one file, suppose I wrote here get user function. We wrote as a get as a capital, get as a small, user as a capital U. Right. When I'm writing in the current file, why I forget it? That's what happened. Variable name you wrote here data. Suppose D is capital. At this place, why you can write the D as a small? Remember it. Where is the mind? समझे नहीं? So that is compulsory. At least what code you are writing, remember that. It will reduce a lot of mistakes. Come next. I have not followed the complete camel case rule. Okay. मैं पूरा उतना follow किया ही नहीं, क्योंकि you will do a lot of mistakes. Okay. Here I follow something. Get user, user JSON. Somewhere, few places I follow camel case. Else, just I written directly. Everything is a lowercase only. Okay, let's go. So user list is coming. Hope you have taken the which file? Hello?
Sharam, I have an issue. I am not able to understand one line. Means we are using from past few files. This line number 34, because I am just treating as a map, okay, and I am just thinking that is iterating each value again and again. But when we write data and data plus, no, I am not understanding how it's printing.
Concatenation is happening. Yeah, you know this line now.
But yeah, I understand that concatenation is happening, but I am thinking that it.
This is this line A equal to A plus.
But I am thinking that concatenating is happening in each iteration. I am treating in that way.
You are thinking wrong way. Every time it's generating a paragraph and passing into the data variable. Every time it generates a paragraph and pass to the data variable. A equal to A plus B I have written here. What is the value, meaning of that? The value of A and B will go to where? A. Next time again the value of A and B will go to the A. Next time again the value of A and B will go to the A. At last, what will be the value of A?
Yeah.
At last, the value of A will be the combination of A and B. Now, suppose A and B is repeated 100 times. So, what was the each time the value of B? That will come under the A. Same thing happening here. See, this can be written like this also. There is a many way to write. So, that line I have not written. That will make you more confused. What is that?
Yeah, plus
Plus equal to. That is also the same thing. In that, it's a hidden. What is the meaning of data and data? Data equal to data plus data. But that line is little hidden. That is much difficult than which one? This one.
This one with the writing, yes.
In this here,
Yeah.
the map function we have written. In the map function, we can write like this also as a function. And inside the function, if you wrote, then at this place, this fat arrow key is not required. Then after that, you will call. You will say like the function I'm writing here. What is this? Why I have written without name? This is called callback function. This is called what? Callback function. A function without name, map function is calling itself again and again. Right? And it is generating a function without name. For what purpose? To receive both the value as a parameter. So, okay, but if you are writing like this is not called a map function. It is not as per the ES6. It is not as a ECMAScript 6. It's become as a ECMAScript 8. When we apply the fat arrow method, fat arrow key, that becomes ECMAScript 6. But both will work. Okay, you can write the word here. You can write the for loop also directly. Array where I equal to 0, I less than array dot length I plus plus. Then you have to find every time the array of I position. That will be the more syntax difficult. Okay, so this is exactly this line is exact same this line. Which line? Every time the value of n, value of name we are putting in the paragraph, and paragraph we are sending to the data variable. If I do like this, this, what will be the output at last? How many name it will print? First time data is holding h1. Once it will come under the for loop, data equal to which one? Paragraph. First one Ramesh, first loop. Second time Ramesh will get replaced by Ganesh. Next time Ganesh will get replaced by Suresh. Something. What will happen? At last you will get how many value? Only one value. But we don't want to get one value. We want to get all the value. Right? So one by one you are generating the value and storing in a variable, right? You are pushing inside the variable. First loop one paragraph, second loop one more paragraph, third loop one more paragraph. Finally, at the end of the loop, the data will hold how many paragraphs? As the number of users. And instead of doing manually, you are doing it automated. This line, suppose you will say like, okay, why I have a store here and why I called in HTML. Directly I can create a HTML file, and inside this all the user we can put in a paragraph. That will also work, but that will become the fixed value. There you cannot increase the user, you cannot decrease the user. Now suppose I have given one example of local user, local JSON, how it is coming. Because next I will be implementing this URLs. Next, after that, after this user, we are going to implement this URLs. If you call this URL, it will give you 100 users, somewhere 10 users. If you call this URL, it will give you 500 records. If you call this, it will give you somewhere 5,000 records. If you call the last one, it will give you the array inside array, multi-level array. Okay, that way the data is going to come from the backend. Front-end developer meaning is what? Front-end developer meaning is you are responsible to design a layout based on requirement. But when you are designing the layout will not be a static layout. It will be as a dynamic layout. So inside the layout, data will come from where? Data will come from the backend. Yes, JavaScript is not going to write SQL query and get the data from database. Your other language will write the query and get the data from database. So when the data come from the backend to frontend, in which format will come? It will come in this format. Which format? JSON. Now your JavaScript will be responsible to capture the bulk data as a string in JSON format, and from JSON convert into where? Array. And after that, according to design, run the loop and generate the output and pass to the browser. It should be functional. It should not be only static. Now suppose one user I have written, you feel like it's look like difficult. Suppose let me go here to this URL. That is the work of not front-end developer. That is the work of back-end developer. Okay. So there we will learn once we come in React, we will learn how the post API will work. As of now, you are learning how the get is working. You are fetching the data. Okay. We have some library in the React where we learn get, post, edit, delete, get, post. After that, fetch. After that, you can say put. After that, delete. Using these 5 options, you can manipulate. Now, suppose this is the data. Are we able to understand anything manually? Nothing. But your JavaScript will understand easily. It is just like it is JSON. JSON will convert into array. These all are type. Uh-huh. These data are JSON data. JSON data. This is the data, and you want to see the output of this data view. That is the data, and this is the output. This is the output, and this is the data. There may be, you can add one more record. There may be you can delete a record. There may be you can hide a record. There may be you can enable disable. All possibilities are there. Okay. So I have not gone directly to the which level? High level. Okay. I have guided you how to read the HTML file. How many? 2, 3. You understood how to read HTML file. Then I have given the example of how to read the JSON data, not from somewhere else, from your computer. You only create and you only read. And this map function is not new function. Where it is? This we have written. It is not new today. No? We are writing this one from which day? When we have learned the pure JavaScript. JS file when we are getting to for loop array, from that day we are writing. After that, what is extra? This one is extra. I have guided you yesterday, step by step. Mouth can speak, but mouth cannot hear. Who will hear? Ear. So fetch function can send the request, but fetch function will not capture the response. Who will capture the response? Someone else, right? So fetch is sending the request, map is capturing the response. After that, one map function, then function has captured the response. After capturing the response, then function, number one, capture the response, number two, convert it into array, or maybe converted into where text according to your backend response. Now this JSON dot user dot JSON file is giving the data in the form of JSON. So we have used which function here? JSON function to convert into JSON object so that the map function will be ready to work on. Okay, a string you cannot run the loop. Now after that, this part we have learned. This part we have learned separate. Inner HTML, inner text, inner everything I have guided you separate. Now fetch function I guided you separate. Now we are mixing all together. That should not be much difficult.
Sriram, just one thing. How we are getting this in a different line? I can't see any new line for this user list. For me, it's coming all single line.
Which tag you have used?
I have used p tag, paragraph tag.
The paragraph tag will not come in online. Send your this entire function in the chat.
Yeah.
Have you written some CSS for P tag? Any CSS for P tag? Look at your CSS file.
CSS file?
Anywhere for
Because that P tag you have not given the bracket. The P tag he has not given the bracket, closing bracket.
Closing bracket.
P tag, closing tag was not perfectly closed.
Yeah, closing.
Greater than. In paragraph, greater than.
Oh, yeah. Got it. Yes.
P is the block level element. It will go to the name line automatically. When you generate a P tag, it will go to the name line.
Yeah. Got it.
Okay, see, when we fill at this level, when you if you are feeling difficulties or if you are feeling relaxed, that is one side. Industry cannot change the requirement according to your understanding. You have to change your understanding according to industry. Okay, this is called modern JavaScript. Okay. In React, exactly same thing. In React, exactly same thing we are going to do copy paste. There are small changes will happen in map function. At this point, some changes will happen, and at this point, some changes will happen. This all will remain same. Okay. Fetch function is the most demanded function in the market. We have other library also. We have Axios there. We have get, post, put update. In the fetch also we can get also, we can post also, we can edit also, delete also, everything we can do. Okay. So go ahead and let's understand. See, if you search on internet, how the fetch function work, okay, what you have learned in this will also you will forget. What you have understood in this, you will forget 100% sure. If you read some theory from internet related to fetch function and map function and that function. Okay, the technical words are 1 kilometer words that we cannot realize what is the meaning of it. In the simple way, I have explained you how the map function work. People ask in interview how map function work. What is the callback function? How map function work? Map function is, see here what is happening. All the data you given to map your array dot map. Now the map inside the array, how many elements you have? Map function is going to call that many times. Okay. Suppose inside the element we have 10 users now. The map function is going to call itself 10 times. And individually, each and every iteration, it will go to the array and take an element. Go to the array, take an element, and come back, right? Suppose you have something in a bucket, you have 10 mango. You will ask someone to throw one mango. So what will happen? A person will sit somewhere, keep the bucket in the side, put the hand in the bucket, take one mango and throw. Go again, take next mango, throw. Go take next mango. What will happen? One by one. At last, what I will find? 0. So that time loop will get stopped. Map function is also doing the same. No. That's a performance decreases. Client side processing language. Okay. Look at this array. Suppose here. If I go to this page, read here. Let me open this URL. Okay. If I open this URL, in this URL, some 10 record will run. 10 record came in this URL. Now, when you have sent the request to backend has given the data. How many data? 10 users are there in this. So total how many data? 10 data. Now this data, okay, or leave this URL. Assume this one. Come to your file only. You have a file called user.json. How many users? 8 users. Suppose you send a request to backend URL. Backend has given you the 10 records. So in the backend, how many loop run? Only one time. One request went to the backend. Backend has given the 10 records. Now 10 record will come to the client computer. Now loop will happen where this map function is running here. If you look at this map function is running here how many times? 10 times. 10 times. But my question is, this map function is running in which computer? Server computer or client computer? Client computer. Now how many users will open the website? Unlimited user. Assume 100 user open the website. Now do you think all the loops are going to run one time, one place, or 100 places? Suppose 100 user open the website. This page is opened by 100 users. Now 100 user open the page. Backend has given the data to user computer. Now JavaScript is not sitting in the server. JavaScript sitting where? In the user computer. Browser is available in user computer. Browser engine is available in user computer. So loop is going to happen where? In user computer. For 100 user, if the loop will run one place, then definitely application will become slow. But for 100 user, loop is not going to run one place. Loop is going to run 100 places because individual user is running their own computer. Your loop will happen in your computer. My loop will happen in my computer. So how the performance will be slow? 100% guaranteed, no chance at all. If all the loop will happen one place, if this loop will happen in the server, you will also request for also loop 10 times. I will also request for me also loop 10 times. Someone else will also request for him also loop 10 times. Now suppose you requested first, your loop is going on. I have to wait. When my request will go, for me loop will run. Third person has to wait. But here there no need of waiting at all. Once you send the request, once you open the page from backend, this much of data will come to your computer. Now looping and all will be taken care by your system. Server is free, relax. Server is ready for the next response. Okay. That is the meaning of what? Client-side processing language. User input will be processed by user computer. User input will not be processed by which one? Server. If the user input will be processed by server, then only server will be busy and everyone will face the problem. So user input will be processed by user computer. There is no chance of performance. If that problem will come, then long back people will kill the JavaScript and throw out from the market. People love JavaScript. Reason is what? JavaScript is designed in such a way where JavaScript will utilize the user computer to process the data. JavaScript will utilize the user computer to process the data. JavaScript is going to utilize your processor, your browser, your RAM-ROM. For what purpose? To process the data. Your input will be processed by your system. Okay, and final result will be given to whom? Server. Server is just sitting, relax. You process and give me. Maybe you run the loop 100 times or 500 times, no matter. It's your task. If your system is slow, your system will be slow. Other user system will not be slow. Suppose my RAM is 2 GB, your RAM is 20 GB. In your computer, what will happen? Processing will be fast. In my computer, it will be slow because it is not the fault of the server. It is the fault of my computer. Performance will never be that one. Okay. Yes. Okay. So let's go next.
So, for me, what is happening from the last 2-3 class only means I can understand anything, whatever you are saying, but while implementing from my side, I am facing difficult. Means what will come next that I could not actually understand. Means the assignment you have given also first time I have not able to complete that assignment because means I have tried it, but I could not complete it. This is the things actually I'm facing. Means I don't know how the process, how the sequence will come.
Wait for 10 minutes. Wait for 10-15 minutes. See, the problem is, okay, for me, take the example for me, okay. In 2011, one company was there who has terminated. Okay. Reason to terminate is, when we go to the browser, they have given me one framework. That framework was unknown for me. It was PHP framework. I have worked on the different framework. They have hired, taking the interview on framework 1, and they are given the work to work on the framework number 2. How I will perform better? Work was huge pressurized environment here in the Bangalore only, one company there. Okay. That company name is called Provab Technosoft. Okay. Now I worked there for 5-6 days, 10 days, 12 days. That was the forcing like anything. Later they said like, Siram, your performance is very poor. Day after tomorrow will be your last working day. I told no problem. Because this framework is new for me, I'm not aware of. Whichever I have worked, if you give me, I can give better of. Then I thought tomorrow let me resign. Day after tomorrow they will terminate me. Today only I'll resign. I resigned there and that day they made me exit. So I go to that company, always there will be 10-12 developer trained by CRM in the same company. Which company? The company has terminated in 2011. In that company, you go now today also, you will find minimum 10 developer from Infocommerce. Always permanent. Okay. They are not on this. They are the trainer I have terminated in 2011. Okay. Now condition is what? Suppose a problem came in front of me. So what I had to do when the problem came in front of me, I will not close my eye and look somewhere else. Okay. When the problem will come in front of me, what I will do, like for everyone. Okay. Start looking at the problem from all the sides. Okay. Suppose this is the problem. I start looking at the problem from all the sides. What will happen? Today I saw, I will not find the solution. Tomorrow again, I will look at the same problem. Day after tomorrow also, I will look at the same problem. At least some point will be there where you can find a small solution. If you start working at solution, slowly you will find the solution of entire problem. When you go for the exam, when the question paper will come in hand, do you remember answer for all the questions? No. But when in the same problem, we start searching, okay, which one is those problems that I can do something. We start writing from one corner and at last we fill the 40 pages. Correct or not? For every developer, I'm saying, I worked 10 years in the market. When you go and discuss with the client, it is not necessary what client is saying, you are remember everything. You have to listen the problem, come back to the desk, do something, think something, search from here, there, and start doing something. Automatically solution will come out. Today some 20% you can do, tomorrow 30% you can do, day by day. Next day you will be able to deliver 100%. Maybe some changes will come. Right? So it is not like when the problem will come in front of me, I will say no, I cannot do. Okay. Like suppose we have taken, yes, this is the challenge, I want to work on this. Definitely is a new thing only. It's a new thing. Difficulty is there. But we have to spend the time. Only one solution is there. What is that? Spend the time. If you spend the time, you will find the solution. Okay. So Charlie, hope you found the solution of your problem.
Yes, sir.
See, problem is like, is for everyone, yeah. It is not like the problem only come from one person. Okay. I have many hundred
The
people.
first time I'm feeling that I am actually in a
No.
Sorry.
Not like that. Okay. Think always in positive manner. If you think in positive way, the solution will come. If you think in negative way, the problem will become double problem. I have many hundred people from EC background and you can say mechanical background. Those people who are not able, who having no idea in computer where is the ABCD. Okay, they were taking half an hour to write one line.
So even me also.
Now
I'm
that
going into that.
industry, they are the team lead in the MNC company. Okay, multi-hundred people I'm talking. Okay, and their salaries are crossing double digit. In the sense what 20 lakh plus they are crossing the salary. Okay. So how? Not once the problem will come, we'll give it. When the problem will come, we'll work on that. Solution will come out automatically. Okay. One more story. In the 2013, some people has come because of some business conflict between someone. Some people came to kidnap me. Okay. They came to my office directly and they said like,